very close game between Cowana and MnM across the first 2 maps. We didn't see 3, but still, there's Solotov. Opens it up here on the top of square and waits for the drone to sort of play again. That denial of intel, you can see that there's still an extension, there's still places to go, but it's a very early loss here.
It's definitely a very early loss, something they will not be happy with from the side of Cowana. Of course, it is still quite early in the matchup. You can afford to lose your first map if necessary, but a jump back comes in from Solotov. He's allowed to pick up yet another kill and rotate all the way back to the front door. Best opportunity here to pick up this very first round, but we gotta mention it. It's only map 1, round 1 in this best of 5. Losing this is not the end of your series, and as an Arkic is gonna be the last man standing, he needs to go for an incredible 1v4 clutch here if he wants to land this round towards Cowana.
Well, it's not going to be through that route at least. Pops the flash over the top and it finds one. 20 seconds though, and a hot hop through isn't going to lead to too much success. He knows he's pushing against the wire at this point. It was a strong opening from MnM, but we've got to take a whip with it. Waiting for the approach from Garage. There's still obviously that body and that player inside that dropped hatch, but they're not going anywhere. Another drone reveal, another bit of movement, and another body falls for MnM as Benja gets the swing round, suffered, and finally finds a bit of revenge. Tyrant with a second and one more. It's suddenly a 2 versus 2. Tries to clear their way back up, but as suddenly Cowana are trying to strike their way into the heart of the site itself, it's a bit of a bite back. The spray down the gold vault corridor goes away though, and Benja locks in a double. It's less than having them entirely start to swan and swamp around you. There is still a little bit of an angle here, but not enough to get their way through, and there is Neo, proving that they can still make some work out of that. Goes potentially for a bit of attention retake, but here comes the hot drop. Benja right inside the site, tries to drop into a fight, but can't quite find the connection. It's on the door. The diffuser goes cold, and Sloth trying to get there as quick as he can, but not quick enough. Big bullets, big guns laid in, but a handful of seconds. No time for that diffuser. Won't need it anyway. MnM find their second.
Still that Nitro that could be tossed in. The Gorgona holding this long and tight angle is going to be trying to make it as impossible as possible here for Nello, who is still stuck here. And now he's the last man standing. He gets spotted out, takes a lot of damage, but the Nitro is not allowed to blow up. Grizzly gets that final kill from the lobby he was afraid of. That was being contested earlier. He's down the opponents for your teammates, but none of that really happened, just the time wasting that we saw. And as Benja is slowly starting to descend these stairs, it is Gorgona that picks up the kill onto Solotov, who was out there in the crosshairs of Benja. And now the verticality comes up as Usus jumps up to the top floor, using that Oryx ability to potentially go for a late flank.
Oh, it's a bit noisy, but it could be huge.
No.
The gun control here as he's going to swing around the corner. The pings, there's one, there's two! Usus utilizes an ability that is always so good on paper, but in print so rarely seen. Here's a third, stacking up through the hole in the door, and there it is! Rewarded for Usus! Usus locks it down, and the only thing he is trading is ticks on dead bodies of Cowana players.
Using and utilizing these hatches to their fullest capabilities to make sure that they can lock down some of these angles and potentially go for a synchronized drop as well, as smokes and flashbangs are about to be tossed in, and trades happen all over the map.
Well, there it is. But you're seeing hot pings. Once again, this intel game from Covana's been able to get right in underneath, and that allows them to start this smoke plant and see if they can get behind the bomb chassis. The cover come through. And you do wonder where that is, but you also wonder if this is going to catch. No! Caught out in the middle of the air, but the spray comes round. There's only a handful of seconds to get it off. It's Nello with a big gun. It's a C4 to secure it. They've just got to put their heads down and see if they can hold on. Once done that in the corridor. And it took a little bit more of a stretch. MnM finally thread 2 rounds in a row, just on the turn of the heart.
As long as he does go under the radar here, has that opportunity to strike big and true. But as soon as he pops up, there will be 2 guns pointing in his direction, as it's going to be a Gemini replicator that will be punished. They now should be aware of the fact that one is right behind the teller's wall, and as a Nitro comes out, that should be picking up another kill. No, it got denied, it got shot out, and that means that MnM for now will live on.
This is one of those games that really put some fire into MnM before, and Cowana are going to make sure that they keep it hot and spicy, but finally stopped. It's that idea of re-leaning back in. You lose space, you send another Cowana player in to try and retake it. They did it quite a lot yesterday, and again, it kept on stumping MnM. There's Grizzly with a pretty easy pick up there on Nello that just did not expect it, but you look at the time, 20 seconds, a C4 and a Mozzie behind it, one-on-one. Where are you going to go, Solotov? You only just have enough time to try and make a drop here and make it happen inside the site. There's some awareness, and Arkic has pulled himself further and further back. Going to put the plant down for now, but it's hot pings. It's a pre-fire. and it's an anarchic pick. And B, you add a couple of grenades into that mix, and it could be a huge catch. The second breath is taken, the second set of steps, the fully reinvigorated Gadget wanted to try and catch the loose player, but it was entirely caught out by Sloth. As I said, it's a little bit safer in this new position.
Not quite sure if he was aware of it or just happened to look over to that side, but he gets yet another kill. It is Neo that gets taken out. He 1.5. He wants to find that player. He wants to find Sloth, who has been wreaking havoc to the side of MnM.
Well, there's the loose player. That's a quad. One more for the ace. You've been able to stack up so much with a heck of a gun here in the right hands, and, well, not a great gun in most others. Waiting for the swing either side of a doorway. There's a grenade that almost spells the end, gives a bit of a pain. There's the ace, though, and Sloth, I believe, the first ace all weekend from a player that MnM has tried to make.
I said it before, right? The defense is what you won't really see teams falter on if they don't really like the map. The attack, that's where it all starts to break apart here. Is Sloth will be able to pick up yet another kill here with the UMP. Playing right behind the kitchen counter. He's going to get some pressure from Tyrant now, and as Tyrant doesn't actually spot him until later on. He does get that headshot clean off. Doesn't know, however, that there is still some members of Cowana quite close to him. Could be trying to retake as the defenders or the attackers have just recovered that diffuser.
I mean, it's 15 seconds. They don't really have any control. Benja's about to probably put a few bullets into a player here. They take a bit of a drop. There it is. And a timeout is called by MnM. Fair enough. All there across the side. It gets smoked out. But Anarchic's more than ready there to see if he can try and stop and fight back.
So needs to stop the view from the mirror window for now as Grizzly's looking for a way to rotate back up. Benja will be caught off on the rotate. Here's Tyrant is descending the staircase now. Knows the second one could be coming up there. And MnM, they find a round here on Bank after the tactical timeout together with that Rios. Enough time to talk about what went wrong.
They're underneath there with the C4. They didn't quite get the catch, but it gives them some awareness. Maybe we can pop and push some pressure onto the site. Grizzly backed into the corner by Kanto in the elevators, waiting for an approach round on the side. Still, you assume has Echo drones and has an Echo gun. Down long, gets one, gets refragged. A minute 10 left on the clock, and it's a 3 versus 1. And Arcic's been able to get himself closer from the position he was at before, but obviously used the C4. Won't be able to really get a read in here, and as most of the castle and structures still stay within the map, well, we don't even see it so far. MnM suddenly find some fury after the timeout, and they call themselves back in to control and back on to map sort of placid. They're not going to make sure they're first into the fights this time. Grizzly suffers a bit, but with Nella knocking on the door, it's now or never MnM.
There you have it. Neo takes the very first gunfight. Benja, who was above, managed to rotate out and wanted to play the close window. Gorgona finds one, but MnM finds more. It's a 2-on-4 situation as we have one rotation down to the bottom floor, but it's only up to Gorgona now. A 1-on-4 clutch as he rotates up the main stairs. Finds the first, finds the second. It's a triple kill for him, and in the meantime, the plant will be going down. Nello will be putting 45 seconds on the board. He doesn't follow the rat ping, actually, and that means it's a 1-on-2 situation now with 45 seconds on the clock. We don't even get that far. It's MnM that will win it. It's MnM that gets map number 1. And Cowana, they just fell short here.
I promise you, it generally won't go the same way. Solotov, they're already in, or at least a dangerous position here, as Anarchic's the next to put some pressure onto themselves. They've been able to try and clear themselves some spot there on the chassis, and it's a bit of a fight. As I said, with that open, that stretch, it means it's territory they got to keep a handle on. The C4, well, it doesn't matter because the diffuser itself is going down. There's nobody instantly aware of this. There's a quick swing, there's the plant, and suddenly dropped. Are they going to go and try and defuse it instantly? There's a bit of a handle and a pressure from above. They're going for the retake, and suddenly Cowana have the man advantage. One above, and one with a chance to rotate onto the stairs, but now they've decided, well, we don't need those stairs. We expect to swing up, and we have to have eyes on either side of the fireplace because this verticality, this is the most important part of our play. One in the fireplace, and Anarchic's going to see if he can get the long arm. They've got to see if they can react to this. They don't know. He's just sticking it. They do know! MnM made the rash decision, but it turned out to be bold and brash and beautiful. And the first round is there. Is able to actually get out of there because they realize, why are we throwing so much away here? Couldn't get the immediate revenge. And there's still so much else happening up top. Another one goes. Uses from the top rope with one more for his name. Tyrant is still doing bits below, but Sloth finally finds something, but it's not enough. MnM, they find their second round.
That way in is thus closed. They do not want to give away their position, and, well, they create another one. However, still heavy presence up onto that top floor as Tyrant just strikes him from below. The snow door gets opened up and he somehow manages to find a way right next to the side. As the barricades does get opened up, it is now going to be a matter of verticality, as I believe that is the drop on Neo. Yes, indeed it will be. It's the diffuser that is being brought into the side. Tyrant in a position where he could go for the cover. Neo going quite deep, loses his life to the shotgun there. Tyrant, however, finds a response and manages to get the diffuser. Goes for the plant right now. 13 seconds. The verticality needs to be there, but it doesn't seem to be in place as Gorgona opens up and finds the diffuser. However, with 7 seconds left, uses now for the plant, but he's being pushed from the exact same staircase. No, he's not actually. Gorgona's right above. He's not going to be able to find it. He drops the hatch, goes for the rotate. That's going to be the big question. No, it's going to be the door, but uses watches away at the exact same moment. As the flank comes through, is he going to be able to find him here? Digs right behind the bookshelf and watches the door. Knows that that could be an entry point, just like the rotation as the bullets keep on whizzing through. Is he going to be able to pick this one up, or is it going to be Gorgona that catches the clutch? He's going to be taking a lot of damage though, however. Just a singular bullet is what is keeping users between the clutch here. Gorgona, can he do it? He's low on HP, 18 seconds, he needs 7 to defuse, he needs to find a kill, but he probably will not. There's not much time left, and it will be users that gets that final one. MnM continue winning these rounds.
The shield's been dropped as well. He has that rotate out, and they have a reinforcement. It's not going to be easy to put down, but it's at least an option. He's trying to play this for as long as he can. He's serving up absolutely everything from the back, mobile, moving, and, well, one's battled back. That's Coat. That's his rotation out. That's dangerous. The pickup sticks of MnM to a new location with Tyrant. Still leading in with the fervor he's been able to play throughout all of this series, and uses once again matching pace. Gorgona's gone, and although it seemed like nobody could touch Sloth for now, he's going to see if he can at least try and do something to keep the pace into the favor.
Trying to rotate as another drone is about to be jumping in. They know he's right behind this window now. A breaching charge gets used. I'm not quite sure why. Neo gets his head taken off as a result, and a hipfire headshot from Benja takes down Tyrant as well. It's only up to Solotov now in a 1v2 situation. Is he going to be able to clutch this out? Benja able to pick up these 2 headshots has been great so far already. Needs to make sure he finds this last kill. Or Sloth, who has been able to pick up the very first one, is going to get position right now on the side of Solotov, who's just firing a couple of bullets here and there, trying to find an entry into the side, but there's 15 seconds left. Gets a ping from the goo mine, and Benja with the clutch eventually. Able to get these 2 headshots at the start. Absolutely key. The last one just locking it off as the crossfire was already down. Now that puts Sloth in a little bit of a precarious position here as the pre-fire does come through. Was actually opened up by his teammate there, not necessarily by himself, so that might hide his position as Sloth is just waiting to heal himself back up. Tyrant gets taken out, a grenade comes through, however, and picks him up, and now Users is on the back of them. That means that the Clash can no longer cover off just a singular angle, as that would mean he would be falling from the back of it, and a pre-fire from the freezer would at least give away the information that one is inside there. Nello goes close with the bearing 9, but he's not able to pick up the kill quite yet. It is Siren that falls. It's just up to Nello now in a 1-on-2 situation, but as he finishes off the reload, it's the sistering bearing 9 on the side of Grizzly that picks up that kill and forces Cowana to win yet another round. Gets a C4, still lives somehow. Grenades are about to be tossed in. They spot him out and they get the kill. Users locks him off. A 2-on-4 is now on the board right here as Solotov is still quite low on HP. Grenades are being used, and Benja now rotates up aggressively here on the white stairs. The Nitro comes through and picks up the very first. Benja still on the planks, is about to swing around the corner, gets the first as he tries to rotate out. Should be caught off. Yes, indeed, he will be. And that leaves it to Tyrant and Solotov now with 18 seconds and a mission to go for the plant. The question is, will they succeed?
Well, he's waiting here on the library door. They're going to see if they can swing their way through. The pings are up. There's a man, there's a double, there's an R kick!
They're lined up, and he just gets them both with the SMG-11 and the same spray.
Cowana's been able to get all of the control that they've wanted so far. There's only really been close to 1 kill, and to be honest, I don't think they even expected it.
Pre-plays Nitro cell put up. Nello will be taking the first couple of bullets there and will be taken out. Benja finds one before the return comes in and uses as well with the shotgun. That brings it back to a 3-on-3. Suddenly it's starting to look a little bit more dicey for the side of Cowana, as there's still 3 players left, and Tyrant on the flank as well, where it can shut you down if you're hopping up towards the pillar side of things. He is on those brown stairs. He is waiting patiently there as Grizzly's making his way over to the hatch to potentially scout out for a dining plant.
They're worried about the rotation up, but now they've just got to be worried about putting themselves down. The diffuser needs to be put, and there it is. The spray from above, and Arctic is all that's left, and suddenly he's heavily isolated. A fantastic rotate comes through, pays dividends, and they're waiting for the clock to time out before they can go for the swing. A handful of seconds. Where's your man? He's in the corner, and he's gotten rid of the plant. Doesn't come to the success, but the success story there uses some Tyrant. Once again, 2 names, MnM. They are lidden up.
There's no guarantee that it will be safe, as Gorgona still on the skylight is looking to support a potential plan that could be coming down soon. The jump in comes, however, and they want to go for some of these frags here. 25 seconds, Solotov drops. Gorgona is coming in close and gets the very first kill, but doesn't know there's a second one still around there. Actually, no, that has been taken out by his teammate already before, and as they're trying to dig in deep, they want to go for a plan, but the diffuser gets dropped on the rotation. His users drops himself as well through the hatch. It's only up to Gorgona now with 12 seconds left. Is he going to be able to get the plan down? That's the big question here.
He has no other option at this point. He only has a handful of seconds. He's going to hope the spray comes through. Popped up, waits for the man and the animation to be done. And there it is. Takes the fight, takes the kill. Tyrant played that pace for pace perfectly. Oh, if you're an MnM fan or player, aren't you so happy to have Tyrant and Ubisoft on your team? To Nello to just press the trigger as soon as someone comes around. If someone's watching it, it is still up. It is still passing all this information. Nello's able to move away. Ubisoft is able to get one more. Ubisoft with a double kill puts suddenly everything on Gorgona. The only player left on the board is looking to at least try and piece some takeaway here from the remaining players, but a flawless is on the board, and Sledge is still going to try and do some renovations here and see if they can catch off the rotate on the far side. They're able to catch a couple of kills last time they were here from the top. And oh, Solotov swings round, catches Benja, who is suffering some of the effects of the explosions popping off around him. Neo's moved into a slightly new residence on the tucked-in close corners. The pings are coming through, but he's waiting for some more cover and support. The flash, the drop, get out of there, and Solotov pulls himself a bit further back towards Lumber. They don't need to overextend this. They can wait and bait a little bit more time out as the swing comes. There's one more.
Diffuser.
The diffuser is now cold, sitting around heaven. There's a handful of seconds. Solotov's still above. One more. For Solotov finds himself a triple, and suddenly Grizzly's in the sight, but with nothing else for his name. It's MnM's game, and they are 1 map away from 5 sets of clogs and a plane ticket to Sweden. Well, hotter air. It's suddenly getting a bit cooler as they're still trying to find a way through. The breakdown is going to start to occur here onto the standard church take as Pipes has taken over control, and they're looking towards the back line, hoping that somebody goes for a swing. More grenades, flashes and burns around the corner with 20 seconds, a hot drop on Moto, but Nello tucks himself in, ducks down, gets dropped. There's the pop-up of one on the opposite side. It's suddenly all over the shop, and Benja is all that's left round the back, but this could be the most important frag. They seem to have an idea, though. It's a pop and a pre-fire. The angle's watched. It's round on Moto. And it is MnM to lead in with the first round. Problems neither connects, unfortunately, but Gorgona definitely does, and Tyrant finally finds that grenade that fits that sweet spot post-mortem, and, well, it's going to be the one that might lead into some more success here. Gorgona still, unfortunately, continually traded for the player. Anarchic suffers as he slips on by, and then suffers more. Wanted to lean back into the fight and trusted the tracers, but Usus just kept a finger on the trigger behind the gym gear, hit the body that pops up, but he's long gone. And now it's Sloth, finds the diffuser carrier, almost finds a second, swings and sprays, and Solotov gets a connection, and MnM get a second round.
Opportunity to go for the plant. There is a member in the garage. The flashbangs are starting to come out right here. Sloth takes a small amount of damage. He needs to make this run. He needs to go for it at some point, but with 30 seconds left, the times are starting to shift as Benja is going to be picked up first on the side of Cowana.
Well, they have 2 places to swing on Solotov, but the riskiest is over the top of that garage walkway. It is such an ominous battlefield, and Sloth goes down, gets dropped, but so does Nello. And that's now the diffuser cold. They've got to see if they can screen themselves to try and get it picked back up, but the player is going to do a deep dive around the top of red. There's one, there's two,
what a shot!
There's
what
three!
A shot!
For Solotov! He's got to try and get this diffuser planted, but it's a 1 versus 1. Just out of time, out of luck, and almost out of blood. There it is. Grizzly is the one that secures it for Cowana, but only just.
Being used by any of the members on the side of Cowana, and as the kitchen hatch will open up, that might actually come to haunt them in the end there, because Nello has an opportunity now to start heading for a drop. Anarchic is the true problem here in the back. of the dirt tunnel as Solotov does take out Sloth from a very tight angle there. It's a grenade that now comes in quite close as well. Nello digs in deep. Foot gets spotted out. However, the cover is there, trying to make sure that the plant cannot be cancelled out. It will continue. However, no, it gets cancelled. It's only Tyrant left now in a 1-on-3 situation. 10 seconds left. And Cowana are looking to make it up to an equal scoreline, push it up to 2-2, and make sure that MnM is not allowed to thrive any further here on Clubhouse Attacks.
The longer that goes on, the more risks you got to take, like this. Cowana is heavily watching this hatch from underneath, just has to try and bite through, so Users takes a different option. Drives into the site, but you assume a swing round is going to come sooner rather than later. They're stopped, locked in and waiting. This could be a massive surprise bout here. They've gotten much deeper than they think. There's one, a very important take, because suddenly the call is there inside. They've been able to slip past Cowana underneath. The second gives a bit of a reveal, but it's Nello to lock down an R-kick and drive that diffuser deeper into the site itself. They have some cover, some protection, but Gorgona's still underneath. They're trying to force a little bit more further as Nello just wants a little bit more security. Neo finds a fight. There's the quick pickup. Grizzly around the corner. And C4 gets shot out. It gets dropped, and Nello is now going to finally stick it, but Sloth shows up from logistics. It was a bit scrappy. Nobody was entirely sure anybody was.
Tyrant in the meantime on stock is looking like he might be coming up soon as well. Benja gets yet another kill. That's going to be the important kill. However, it's going to be the smoke canister gets sniped out as well. They know one is going to be inside of the construction to try and rotate back, but that's already long gone. Benja comes up these stairs. They need to go for a plant, and as the smoke canister is dealing quite a bit of damage, it's only up to Benja Master right now. He gets stacked, moves on to the right, gets yet another kill. It's a triple kill. The ace clutch needs to come through if they want to get this. The plant also needs to come in as he misses actually the jump in on the window. The plant now slowly taking place. Users just needs to get some cover. The free fire comes through. A small bit of damage is being done, but it's not going to be quite enough yet to get that kill. Flashbangs keep on raining in. Benja is going to be completely blind, and that will waste some seconds here, but he needs to find 2 more kills. One near the garage, one on side of the balcony, gets some damage done on one, but Nello finishes him off right after. And as a result, it is MnM that will still find their 3rd attacking round like we expected him to.
We're going to see if they can try and pull out the bodies from the back of the box here. The grenade is just going to see if it can try and catch behind the A case on the far side, forces them to more uncomfortable situations, but no one's able to, I say, as they do, lock it off. Gorgona gets a drop and gets dropped in response. No, an R-kick was the other body hovering over the top with the diffuser there. They've got to try and throw themselves in. 10 seconds and an important pick on the backside of the site. But the diffuser falls down. It's all gone wrong, and there it is. Still trying to fight their way through the 1 versus 1. Just wait a couple seconds. Grizzly has to stick it. You've got to be in the right place. Popped up and locked off.
There you got it.
How many times has Tyrant taken it in a post-plant?
Tossed in. This time a little bit of damage is being done towards Nello. Nitro is being tossed out as well, but not being that impactful as the actual push starts to happen under the course of an adrenaline surge. It is going to be the entry here of Sloth, the double entry to go for as well as he tries to get rid of the bulletproof cam. He's struggling with that more than he would like to. It's only up to Solotov now, coming up on the stairs behind him, looking to stop this from happening. Gets the first. Anarchy gets off the plant, is looking to rotate into a safer position as the player is still outside next to the gym. Machinery is going to be able to pick up yet another kill. Solotov swings around the corner, but Gorgona was ready to pick him up instead. The pistol not allowed to pick up yet another kill.
Yeah, it's really far away, and we saw Solotov eye up the idea of going out and getting aggro, but here he is now fighting a more important fight on the window. Nello almost gets dropped on the top of red, and well, the grenade is what pushes him over the edge, but Tyrant going down in the meantime is only the fight back against Gorgona Sloth. As I said, he's the driving force, and he deep dives all the way to the back of site, and suddenly it's just Usus and Neo left alive. The run out almost catches one, doesn't quite get the solidity, but it's caught on the way back in the room. Benja gets it. Neo on the swing back round. He's looking for a single body on the pop-up, but he does not find any.
Destroy these. Did they just throw in a Nitro?
I think they may have.
Well,
little mistakes.
Little mistakes start adding up. It's Sloth with the very first kill here after the kitchen hatch has been opened up in an unfortunate series of events. There's going to be 2 drones left available though on the side of Cowana. For these last 30 seconds, they need to hope that their grenades are on point, and as the first gets tossed in and won't be able to find any, they need to continue to gunplay instead.
Grizzly's trying to put pressure down on the main corridor of the site itself that separates, but look at this, the flood comes through onto Church, trade out, and suddenly it's a double, it's a triple stacked up. Here, MnM, they're able to strike through. Grizzly and Benja, the last 2 left, sort of caught adrift in the middle of the site. They've stacked themselves, the diffuser's been picked back up and it's sprayed over. And MnM find a second bout of success here, and once again, we are tied.
Get it. And as a new grenade is being put into place, it bounces back and will set them back a couple of seconds.
That's it, they still have 2 grenades, but they have Benja who's going to try and charge up. An important kill for Usus, and he catches it at the right time. There's one that happens on side the site, and suddenly it's locked out with the big gun of Nello going burr behind the bomb chassis. One more, dropped and round the corner, and he can't quite get the connection. The Maestro cam's giving all the calls they need, and with the pistol popped over the top, there is Usus underneath. They have maybe the eyes, maybe the idea of where it's being played and placed, but suddenly it's just Usus underneath. An R-kick with a handful of seconds and a C4. Where's the ping? Where's the call? You've got to get it thrown. You've got to get it connected. Unfortunately, that's not the corner. There's the drop. There's the first. 2 more, but one of them is headed right out to CCTV to keep a watch from outside. The other, I believe, went to rafters. They have the double story split. They have human awareness, and it only takes an R-kick a second to slide up that sling and get it. Goes for the first fight. Goes for the run out onto the second. But it was only really going to go that way. 6-5 to Cowana. One more round, and they secure themselves at least. They're really going to be in his best situation. They've lost 2 of their loose players. They've lost 2 of the big gunners, and that leaves now the site hold to try and come together. Benja, he's putting some pressure onto the site itself over the bedroom. The shield gets popped, and Neo gets caught too. Usus is the next to fall, and bit by bit, thread by thread, MnM are being pulled apart here. Nello is the only one left, and he was an Echo playing far off site, so suddenly he's got to try and get his way back up, but almost entirely caught out by the player outside. He's not going to be able to get the pick up there. They know where he is, and they know that there's several different locations for them to try and put and pop pressure back onto him. It's got to be an ace clutch at this point. Neo is down and out, and they're going to spend this time droning and setting themselves up for any chance in the flank here. Sure, he has the pocket echo, but really, there's so much else above him. You do not see an easy route through here.
There's the confirmation there, 60 seconds left on the clock, a 1v4 situation. Nello is going to be able to deal a little bit of damage towards Benja, goes aggressive right here, but didn't see him proned out, and Cowana are able to take a map away from MnM, and it will force us to go towards a map number 4, where hopefully for them, they're going to be able to at least put another step towards the reverse sweep, as MnM, well, they're starting to make some slight mistakes here and there. On the side of blue, on the side of barrels, and that means that one will mean that Solotov is a little bit hindered in his approach.
Well, an R-kick, you're locked in, mate, and you're just going to try and hold on to that corner for as long as possible, because at this point they're still going to waste utility and try and get rid of you, but then they're also going to turn a corner, and you're just locked in a corner. Now Solotov takes the hot drop. There's that. I said it's going to be caught out. 5 versus 3, 2, 1. And it's almost go here as Solotov tries to swing around. As I said, all he did was find an R-kick and a locked box, a bit of a chuckle, and Cowana are off to a start.
Defenders, it's Tyrant that is still alive on that door, active and present as Nello is sneaking inside the attic here. Is he going to be able to pick up a very important killer? Yes, he does. It's a 4-on-4 and still counting down. MnM has a man advantage now. Make that 1 or 2, or actually it falls back into favor of Cowana as Benja is going to be able to pick up a double kill together with Sloth here. A pistol that comes in at the right moment. A grenade is being tossed. The first goes the right way, but a pre-fire is there at the end. Benja locks off the round for the side of Cowana. Smoking has to use us in a position where he can take or work on the top floor control with the rest of his team.
A quick spray round onto the backside of the player, just caught out in the middle there. They're going to see if they can try and take some verticality, but with looking the wrong way. Gorgona gets 1, gets 2, gets dropped, traded out, and there's the down player on the far side. Neo starts to shine a little bit here, but with 20 seconds, they got to see if they can get the drop in any coverage possible. Neo and Nello, this dream team, last left on the board, and R-kick has nothing in his pocket, neither does Sloth, and it's an easy pickup either side. Cowana tie their 3rd round in a row, get themselves that perfect rotation.
Hatch in the back staircase that they seem to want to use. MnM, they need to force themselves away in. MnM needs to find a way through. Cowana is going to be the first one with a loss. A grenade pops in. Tyrant gets that first kill. That might just be what they need. But 30 seconds are left on the clock right now, and as the last smoke canisters are being used to block off some lines of sight, it's MnM that still needs to brute force through. It's a smoke canister that Nello just jumps through, uses as well, but the nitro cell pops him off, and that means that they need to continue to trade. It's a 2-on-4. They can go for a plan, but somehow they run in deep, and 2 get picked up by the side of Gorgona before he gets taken down. It's a 1-on-1 right now. It's Solotov against Anarchic. It's a shotgun that will be able to end it right there. And Cowana is able to pick up yet another round after a questionable deep run from the diffuser carrier who gets picked up and loses it. In the right way, Solotov here trying to contest the attic.
I mean, the camera's going to be there entirely until it gets C4'd off, but in the meantime, Sloth takes the fight and kill anywhere. He's waiting for another bit of a swing to come through. Solotov, in the meantime, gets the cut over the top. Can't quite get the next, though. 2 angles, 2 firefights. And suddenly canisters are popping, but they're stacked up on the top of white stairs. The split pushes come through. Sloth blocks off one direction, and, well, they're going to see if they can try and shove their way in through the other. Nello cannot quite get it. It's a 2 versus 1, though. And suddenly, MnM, after a fair few rounds have gone away from them, have made a connection on their attack so far for 1. Not quite close enough. Cowana suffers a little bit more, but he's still standing, and that's the big problem, because it still only takes 1 kill regardless of the health that you're currently sat at. Nello.
Oh, what a shot!
Oh! Takes the man through the hole, burnt through, and now goes to look for the second and the hope, but 30 seconds. It's got to come soon.
Very important shot right there from Nello as he took out the first. Is now going to create an extra opening for them to rotate into the bedroom. I believe they didn't put up the reinforcement yet. Indeed, they haven't. And as Neo swaps over to the bearing 9, he's willing to go close. He's willing to check the close angle. It's Cowana on low HP. He's being challenged as well from the white stairs at the very same time. It's the Ferrari peak to come in from Neo. And instantly going up for the Frank and the defuse there. But it's a flawless round from MnM at the best given timing here. After we thought they might have been slacking, after we thought the fatigue was starting to hit, they get 2 rounds in a row.
Clutch on, and we've seen late pushes work on this site before, but not really on this showdown. Solotov pulls back, and they go for a bit of a deep dive with the hot drop there, but crossed off by Neo. Goes for 1, finds the second on the split on the other side, but Cowana suddenly pulls some of these bodies back into their favor. 30 seconds, and they've been able to take some wrested control over the split on that E-box, but without the confidence to go for the plant itself, and still some utility and the camera getting all the spots. They need to see if they can bury themselves a little bit further. Grizzly has a very important bout of cover. They go for the drop on the other side of the shield down the corridor, find it. Grizzly with a very big double. Solotov gets 1 more, and that could be the most impactful of them all. The shotgun gets 1.
He gets 2!
Solotov!
What a clutch that was! He gets the injure, and afterwards the 2 shots with the shotgun playing it to perfection as he falls back after the first pump.
But he's giving it a very wide berth. With the reinforced hatch, it means he has a little pocket of safety, but it's still a lot of destructibility. Benja. 1 more for his tally as Tyrant goes down. Puts us into the 5 versus 2. Nello is setting himself up in quite an aggressive position. Neo is allowing himself back closer and closer to the site here. It's a lot of flutter utility over to the big double window. They've been able to at least clear some space, but with a minute on, they're more than able to do stuff like that. Can't find the player and put the pressure onto the last one. A first take. Second doesn't quite come through. They're in the site. They're all over the shop. They're going for the plant on the other side of the wall. There's 1 more for Neo, but it's still an uphill. Sees it, can't quite connect the dots. MnM find that fit.
Will land right on top of him, easily recovered, you dare to say, but Cowana is in a position where he can start opening up with a skeleton key, so you prefer to have Nello underneath ready, as Sloth is the first to fall by Neo.
This, though, I talked about Solotov, and I talked about the importance of Zulu, and he's been able to find himself locked in here as Benja goes to try and take the site itself. He's a little bit isolated. They still have the pings on the body, but there it is, the kill underneath. They've suddenly lost all that security on the plant spot, so they've got to see if they can strike. There's still the man down. They know it, and the pings were hot, so they can't quite get the confidence. The spray onto the top of white stairs. The plant is being locked in, but Grizzly is all that's left. A handful of seconds. Goes for a rotate, can't quite get the connection. 5-4. The catch starts to come through. Everything's burned and bursted. There it is, though. Tyrant on the backside gets 1, gets the diffuser cold. Grizzly tries to go for revenge and a pick back up, but as that mirror window gets popped on the way back, it's Sloth that drives himself closer and closer. A handful of seconds and Grizzly loses out on the closed chassis, but it's an instant pick back up and response revenge. They're trying to stick it. They don't quite have the confidence, and there's why Nello with the swing round cannot quite get it. It's blow for blow, but Sloth is that final figure standing to get the round for Cowana.
Crucial position there for Solotov. He needs to slow these down. A grenade will be used to get rid of the actual smoke canister that's out there, and as the 6 pops, they're starting to rush.
Well, there it is. It's all blind. It's all MnM, though. They're able to just sort of batten down the hatches and bear the storm. Tyrant is, in fact, thinking about the idea of retaking a bit of ground. Sprays off 1. There's 1 left. Went to swap out, but Cowana has nowhere else to go. A technical flawless, though one of the players was down, and it's not quite over yet. MnM say they are 1 round, 1, I assume, dorms away from getting it to OT. Control of Trophy by the looks of it now as well. They've broken themselves over radically, got rid of the Goyo shield. MnM's forced into more and more uncomfortable situations, like the end of Sloth's gun. Finished off the job on one, finds the spray onto the other, a huge kill, and backed up by users too. Cowana suffers next. They're trying to get the lead in onto Walk-In, 30 seconds. They only really have one route through with the diffuser and the kit and the case in pocket. The spray is theirs. Neo pulls himself back to the other side of White Stairs and uses his buying time with Grizzly getting Solotov. And Grizzly getting the cover there for Cowana to get the plant down. It's over the top, and it is Grizzly, and we are going all the way. Pinch on this, there might be a bit of a lockout.
You know, one of the rotations is still coming through, one is still below, one is injured, but of course not having that piece of information. It's going to be Cowana on top of the landing. That is in a crucial position. A drone will be used, but will it be in time? 20 seconds as they are slowly starting to run out as Benja gets taken care of, and there's a member of the attack pushing in from the back. Neo in a key position right here is going to be able to get a crucial kill as the plant is going down. Is the last man remaining off the cover here. He needs to make sure, as he knows that the rotation on the right is being used. He rests the shots, but eventually will still get the headshot. It's MnM to win the very first round with quite a bit of quick fashion. As he knows, he's in a disadvantage from that current position, but Nello in a position as well where he has the opportunity to go for a bit of a flank as the first smoke canisters are starting to pop. A jump in will come through as the first kill as a pistol is being whipped out here at this given time. The prone and the reload coming in at the same time. The kill comes through. Cowana picks it up and turns it into a 4-2 in favor of Cowana.
A huge amount of attention played to a player that they still haven't really got out, and the only thing he's doing right now in that art studio is painting the word pain on a canvas over and over the bodies of MnM players. They're still chasing, they're still tailing. There's finally an end to it, but 40 seconds. A 3 versus 2. Tyrant has a grenade. They can try and cause some destruction underneath, but 2 stacked shields. So much other utility left to get through. No staircase is an easy route up. Look at that. We're getting Cowana players pulling themselves back towards bedroom, back towards the statuary side to make sure they have the stretch. That's 10 seconds. You've got a sit and wait button at the top of it's Benja on the right-hand side and a body on the left as well. They've split themselves up. A slight different push, but they have to get aggro. There's the fight. Can't get the connection. Hits the shield and just gets themselves dropped and downed. Cowana find the end to a round that they opened with so much brutality underneath.
Picked up. Flashbangs are being tossed in. They want to take control of the astronomy staircase and the astronomy room right here. And as the adrenaline surge wears off, they know one just ran through. Here comes the corner around the corner. They know one more is out there. It's actually 2, and the pre-fire will hit. As Another Kick is going to be able to finally be destroyed. It's a double kill from Nello. Turns it into a 1v1. It's just Neo and Cowana left now.
Neo on the other side has so much time, but the diffuser is in a very isolated position. There is some control with those air jabs, could limit some of the space here, but Cowana is just sort of sitting, waiting for that precious bout of intel, can hit shots when he needs to, and was that tour de force form of the previous round for them. A bout of silence. He preps himself on the door with 30 seconds generally passed at this point, and only that remaining. It's on to Neo to try and put some pressure. Peppers the first few bullets, gives the game away. He has an idea, and Cowana with the hot ping, well, that's a sort of bait of mental game. We know where you are. We know where you are. And it echoes out around him as he's just trying to find some safety. The air jab goes down. The plant is being attempted. Is Cowana going for the opposite side? Goes for the swing, and the spray pops up. It's still plants. It's still peppering. It's hiding behind the statue. There it is. Over the top. Cowana couldn't quite get the connection. He's going to go from underneath, and he finds it there instead. Stretching. They know the ground that they have, and they know what they want to make work.
This grenade could be crucial here. If it lands right into China, Sloth could be taken out. There you have it. That is it. And that means that there's suddenly not really anything anymore to stop this plant from happening. Solotov takes more ground. He's in the middle of a smoke grenade here, but he takes a small amount of damage. Takes even more, however. Tyrant takes an important kill into Benja. They could go for a potential plant, but it's Neo that gets executed by Anarchic as Solotov picks up a very important kill.
Cowana went through a rotation. Grizzly's fighting a one-on-one above, and that is, to be honest, kind of detrimental to a clash. So Cowana is going to do all that they can inside the site itself. Finds one, goes for the second lockdown as Nello is going to stick the diffuser in the meantime. Covered a bit by the audio that's coming through. There goes the clash. There goes the spray. There goes that round, and MnM keep it tied up to out of pressure, and the grenade is going to make sure that as that shield pops open, well, it's Benja that pops off. Takes care of Solotov on the swing round, and just over 30 seconds, they're going to have to try and direct themselves towards that study control and, most importantly, the top of red stairs, which Grizzly, well aware of. Pulls himself back towards Statue, gets the crossfire on the angle, and hopes he goes unchecked. This could be disastrous. It is not, though. Tyrant continues a tirade. They're going to pop round the back of the other side. Benja starting to strike. They know exactly where he is, and Arkic is still a bit of a loose element, and it's another one for Benja. Finds himself a third for the round. They've stacked up on the door, but the rotation has gone round to the other side, into the corridor. Over the top, you see the first body drop. The other one's pulled off to study. You know they're rotating round to the backside. It's Benja going for the long route round, and there's a Usus. And there is somehow a Cowana round built on the back of Benja.
Given away here. Another drop comes through, I believe it is, and Arkic will be walking right into the Arab jab right there. So they know exactly that one player's at least downstairs. There could be a second, but as there is going to be a double swing about to happen, is Tyrant ready and waiting, hoping to pick up a kill right here, and with that, get yet another one going MnM's way.
Tyrant gets the triple, 15 seconds, one more. It is just Grizzly down below.
C4.
I said the pulse could be a huge impact, and you have pointed it out. A C4 and a pulse is the perfect prime position to cause some trouble. There's a ping, but there's also a much more intent focus towards that play this time. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, well, I'm going to have a flawless round, get all my friends, and make sure you can't get me through the softs.
Waiting to strike at the very same time as Benja is about to be hitting the side himself as well. Nello standing up on top of the bars, looking to find the very first with the SMG, using that smoke canister to hope and slow down the push as it comes down. It's the first injure, it's the second one to move through under the effect of the adrenaline surge, and Arkic is all the way down to about 5 HP. Neo looking to take steady control right here as Grizzly needs to cover with the plants going down. He is going to be swinging in at this exact moment in time. It's one kill to come through. Anna off the plants. It is going to be MnM that should be winning this round, but there's 8 seconds left and it could still happen. The first kill goes his way. He rotates around, going to the bar. There is that opening towards the study he tries to utilize, but he fails to do. MnM win the round and take the lead here after a very early loss.
That means Neo's in a bit of a tough spot. It's going to be a smoke canister. Gets thrown out long, there's going to be a grenade. Gets thrown out longer. Is able to take care of Solotov there. As I said, it's always going to be one of those maps where you're never really safe from grenades. Hey, look, 2 for 2, why not? Says Sloth, who's been able to make the own connection himself. 2 for 2 over the past 2 maps. Tyrant, he's going for a approach round underneath, going to first fight, can't quite get the connection, and Benja is able to bleed them back up to the top here. Neo, he's a bit lost and food for thought. They know he's here, and now he's the only one really left at this point. And he doesn't really see the end of it. At least he was smoked out 4-4. See if an explosion that doesn't quite net the same result as before, but they haven't really finished throwing them up, it seems. A minute on, though. They've got to start trying to make some progress and have a point of ingress here. Usus shuts the door. Cowana's blocked out by the English shotgun, but a bit of revenge spray comes from Sloth over the top of Astro. They're up here, inside the staircase, trying to get that long, deep fight. They see a sliver of Neo on the far side. He's not going to overextend, but the player covered off on the smoke on one side leans in for the fight on the other. They've been able to slip themselves into a slightly different altercation, but with Sloth having to do this heavy driving work, we talked about this importance before, and he has done big bits here just to keep MnM fighting across at Usus, though, has this response he so perpetually had over the side of the bedroom, but nobody is caught sleeping here as everybody's finding a scrappy fight. Lay down. Keep yourself safe, but expect anybody to swing either side. And Arkic doesn't quite get the first connection, doesn't quite get the second, and now he's all that's left to the bearing. Shoots high, shoots low, gets it finally for the 1 versus 1. We've been here before. Last time it went into the fact that they were able to get the call on the plant, but they don't have the same pings. There's an impact. It's a bit loose, it's a bit wide, but it pulls him off the diffuser. He's going for the fight. He was not in the right place, went for a sprint, but wasn't. Tyrant's caught out on the far side. I said he was a big flank, and as the pressure starts to come through, he's going to buy some precious time. 30 seconds. Solotov's battering down on the site itself, and he maybe wanted to be revealed. He maybe said, come find me. Well, they found you. And now there's 25 seconds as Usus keeps it down. Cowana, he snuck in for the plant, but look at Study. They're going for a wide rotate, but they can't quite get the connection. It forces him off the diffuser. 18 seconds. He's stuck down the C4. Does not quite catch it. Buried back down. He's going to see if he can stick F, but it's a triple for Usus. A swing on the coast. And MnM are 1 round away.
Reaching the 6th invitational, and that means that Cowana has about 60 seconds to stop that from happening. It is not much time. They need to go for an execute at some point, and Solotov is up on that top floor, but he gets caught off, and Benja gets a kill as well. Cowana is starting to make this round go their way. 2 kills at least have done so already. 45 seconds left, and Tyrant drops as well. It's a 2-on-5 situation now. Users and Nello are the ones that need to make it happen for the side of MnM, and as Nello's about to swing the corner, he's being waited for, and he misses the opportunity. Users gets the very first kill. The plant is going down in the meantime, but he will be denied. He gets denied, and that means that Cowana are fighting back yet another round and bringing it up to 6-5. Chases him down.
Neo is waiting at the bottom of the staircase, creeps into a new striking position as Sloth takes some damage above. He's not quite sure that the movement has happened, but he has some awareness of the danger that's currently being lifted. We're getting closer and closer to the 30-second mark, and here's a big catch. He's ready to make it, and he does! Neo strikes, but the sight goes as well. It's suddenly flooding. Grizzly and Gorgona one apiece either side of Trophy and Statuary. Nello is this back line. They've got themselves with the chassis, but Neo, he's got himself around the backside, sees one, gets an easy pick up. The diffuser is caught 2! MnM are less than 10 seconds. MnM make it count with a trade. 8 maps, 90 rounds over a long day of siege. But all they have to look forward to is that one place. They are our SI final team from EU, MnM Gaming.